Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another interview, which I'm very stoked about. Today, I'm having a conversation with another fellow YouTuber from the channel What's Good English, EK Powell. On his channel, EK teaches people about how English is spoken outside your classroom and about AAVE. And today, we're going to be talking about AAVE. If you don't know what it is, don't worry, EK will explain. So, hey EK, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited about this conversation.
So am I. I'm super happy to be here. It should be pretty cool. It should be pretty cool. I've been looking forward to someone interviewing me, so it'll be awesome.
Well, that's awesome. I love interviewing people more than giving interviews, so yeah. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about AAVE. Can you
Yes.
decipher this abbreviation? What does AAVE stand for?
Yes. So African American Vernacular English. It actually has had a lot of different names. It's been called Ebonics. People also just call it Black English or African American English. African American Vernacular is the most popular one right now. Actually, like me personally, I prefer the term Black English because mainly because especially now in the United States there are a lot of African immigrants, and we as a country we tend to like really categorize different sorts of peoples to like Mexican American, Spanish American, Italian American, Irish American. So like African American nowadays really applies more to people that have immigrated from Africa
Mm-hmm.
than people that have been here already. So like I prefer the term Black English, but AAVE is the one that gets all the good tags and everything like that. So I just roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Right, I see. So it is okay to call it Black English. Like it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
nobody will be offended or anything. It's totally fine. It's completely cool.
Right. Okay. So I think my audience might not know what the word vernacular mean. So can you explain?
Yeah. So it's the manner in which we speak. It's basically a dialect. People like vernaculars, like like the words that we choose to use or the phrases we choose to use.
Mm-hmm.
Even the pronunciation can be altered from the standard American English is like what I call just like how Americans or what is perceived by everyone to be like the American accent, even though there's like so
Right.
many little American accents depending on where a person
Right.
lives. Like I often say, there's not an American accent. There's what we generally publicize is a Midwestern accent because that's perceived to be the one that's the most neutral.
Right.
But like people from New York, which is one of the most populous cities in the United States, speak completely different. There's actually like a few different New York accents even within that one city. Like, and then throughout the rest of the state, you get even different accents. So,
Right.
but vernacular, just in general, is just how we use the words that we use when we're speaking.
Right. Right. How people speak just. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So what made you want to do an in-depth series on AVE? Which, by the way, I love your videos. They are so cool and
Thank
creative.
you.
You play all those characters. And I believe in one of your videos, you mentioned that your major was related to doing these.
Yeah, sort of. So if I had it to do over again, I probably would have majored in linguistics because I really sort of developed a love for languages really late in my university career. But yeah, I actually majored in mass communications. I learned like how to film and edit videos and stuff, and I minored in theater. So it's
Cool.
taken me so long after, graduating college to actually put all of this stuff into use, like with my YouTube channel and everything.
Right.
But it's really cool because it combines my love of teaching, and I'm teaching something that I'm an expert in with, being a native speaker and really loving, how languages work with sketch comedy, which I absolutely love. And I've seen like, I steal a lot from other sketch comedy creators on YouTube. And I didn't really see a space of anybody that was trying to teach English with, kind of sketch comedy, because I really find that when people learn stuff in context, like if I can make you laugh about something, you'll probably be more likely to remember that, and you'll remember the context it was used in. Whether instead of just saying like, oh, okay, well, you can say cool, and that also means don't worry, like be cool, like don't worry, like okay. But if I just have somebody that's super mad at me, like, and I'm like, hey man, be cool, be cool, be cool, like you're probably gonna remember that. And then with African American vernacular, like a lot of people really just dismiss it as just being bad English and slang. Like they'll say, oh, those people, like Black people in America, just speak with a lot of bad grammar and slang. But I really wanted to show off the systematicity of the language, that because we can hear when you say it wrong. Like there's not like official, grammatical rules that are written in any book that are taught to us. I sort of love that it exists as a language that you have to learn through context and through usage. Sort of how people learn languages in the past, before people were writing stuff down, or even back when the clergy, were the only ones that were actually learning languages, learning to read and write and everything. And everyone else was like, oh, you're trying to read a book, or you're trying to be a monk or something. So it's weird because like everything that is said is learned through context. And I wanted to show off like and really celebrate it, and try to dismiss all the people that say it's just slang, and also show that we are the creators of a lot of the things that Gen Z says right now. For example, like Generation Z, people that basically were born after the 2000s, they've grown up with a lot of Black culture in the mainstream. Like when I was a kid, if I wanted to hear like rap music or something like that on the radio, we would have to listen to the Black radio station, and we would hear, some of our favorite artists. And if we turned on like the regular mainstream radio station, occasionally somebody would have a song that got really popular, and it would hit like, the top 10, top 5, number 1, and then it would just go away. And now it's that there's like so many Black creators are, like putting out number 1 hits, and it's in the modern populace. Everyone's imitating it, like as you do with anything that's like really cool and popular, but they don't really know where that language is coming from, like where those words and phrases are coming from. So I wanted to be, the guy that's saying, oh, okay, well, this is like from African American vernacular. These are all the ways that we use it, and here's how we normally use it just in regular speech. Because a lot of people's only interaction with it is in some context where somebody is, at an extreme, and they imitate the extreme, but not the fact that you can just say it normally,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I get it. Okay. So, is it okay for a white person to speak with AAVE in case if someone wants to learn it but doesn't live in that culture and doesn't know a lot about it? Is it offensive or be considered as a form of mockery for an Afro-American person?
Yeah, so I love this question. And I could literally talk about this question for like an hour straight. I'll try my best to be as concise as I can be. But yeah, it's a really good question. And the short answer is yes, it's completely okay. But there's a few caveats, to it. It's kind of delicate. So, like I was saying with Gen Z, where they've kind of co-opted stuff that we've been saying, and they use it. Well, let me back up a little bit. So first of all, there are a lot of people that there are not a lot of non-Black people that speak African American vernacular like as their mother tongue. They grew up around us. They were cool with us for a while. They've been friends with us, and they just absorbed the language as you naturally would. The United States is like really modeling or really promotes being monolingual a lot more than bilingualism. So it's like when something's a little bit different, they just kind of classify that as, oh, okay, well, that's just bad grammar. But like the people that naturally speak it, I can't rightly say that, they shouldn't speak that because, it's their mother tongue. Like people have been telling us not to speak our mother tongue since we've been in this country since the 1600s when they brought us over here. So I can't rightly say that you can't speak the way I speak just because of your skin color. That like that would make me a hypocrite.
Right.
Yeah. But like you have to still be you when you're speaking it. Like a lot of times, like I said, people will imitate the context in which they've heard it, and they'll create like a whole other character for themselves, or imitating what they think a stereotypical Black person would say and how they say it. And it's like, why do you need to use that voice? Why do you need to use all these mannerisms? I'll give you an example. I used to be a trainer at a call center, and one of my co-trainers, a guy that I used to work with, used to say, "Oh, I have a sassy Black woman inside of me, and if anybody gets me mad, then she comes out." And like nobody, like this person did learn their lesson, but like nobody has a sassy Black woman inside of them except for a Black woman. So, and he would basically put on this whole different persona and start using AAVE. And that is very insulting. Like we are not on a 10 when we're, saying, when we're saying these things, we're right. Speaking, we just say these things normally. Like when we're excited, yeah, it sounds like that's probably the context you've heard it in. Like, I was like, "Woo, everybody named Mama was at the store." I was probably excited. But like, if you're, just talking like I am now, and then all of a sudden go, and everybody named Mama was there, that's creating some random caricature of yourself, and that's not cool. So I would say if you just absorb it naturally and you're still you when you're using it, it's completely fine. There are going to be a ton of people that disagree with my opinion on that. They let me know in the comments on my TikTok videos, not so much on YouTube, but every time I upload like a popular AAVE video on my TikTok account, there's always people in the comment section saying, "Oh, who is this for? You're making it easier for our stuff to be stolen. You're selling out our culture," which I'm not. I'm trying to celebrate it, and I'm trying to show people that it's not slang. But at the same time, we also have a long history of people taking something that we've been doing for, decades or hundreds of years, even going, back so far into Africa, like before we were even brought here, like just a natural tradition that stayed with us, and then putting a white face on it. And then that person gets all the fame, all the credit, while we still are looked down upon for doing the exact same thing that we had always been doing. So that kind of stings. And that's sort of where the confrontation and the discontent is, with people being offended by non-Black people speaking it. But at the end of the day, like, to me and to a lot of us, it doesn't bother us as long as you're not a different person when you're using it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I had something on my mind. Something else I wanted to say. Yeah, because I have come across a lot of situations like on social media when people would not speak AAVE, but just maybe do some braids on their hair like white people, and that would insult Afro-American women. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that is insulting because to me, just like you said, AAVE, I would use it in maybe some comedy form when I'm trying to be funny or something like that, because that's not me. Like, I'm not talking like that, but maybe, So, but I'm afraid that people might take it in the wrong way, so.
Yeah, it's really touchy and delicate. It has to really come off as comedy and like with loads of love behind it and everything. Yeah. And it can really be hard, and somebody's always going to take some offense to it. Yeah. Like whether or not it's intended or not. It's yeah, it's a tough one to answer. Like I said, I probably need to do an entire video on this like
Right.
myself, and I would just be speaking for like an hour straight. Like, so it's okay if you do it this way, but not this way. But yeah, like I said, it's cool if you're just still yourself. It's I mean there's a ton of stuff that we say just on the regular, and it's completely fine. And there's stuff that's been adopted in the modern lexicon. For example, if you use cool, that is African American vernacular. That became really popular amongst the jazz scene. Everybody was saying it, and it got adopted into modern English. So when you say, oh, something's cool, when you say a person's cool, you're using African American vernacular, but you're still you when you're saying it.
Yeah, right. Well, that is the point. Right.